And here is the Writer's Almanac for Thursday, July the 18th, 2019. It's the birthday of Nelson Mandela, born in Maletso, South Africa in 1918. First member of his family to go to school, devoted himself to working for an end to apartheid. And to that end, he spent 27 years in prison. He later said of his release from prison, "As I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison." Nelson Mandela, who said, "A good head and good heart are always a formidable combination, but when you add to that a literate tongue or pen, then you have something very special." It's the birthday of Jessamyn West, born Jennings County, Indiana, 1902. Family moved to Orange County, California when she was young, where she grew up in her father's lemon grove. Her first book was a collection of short stories about Quakers, the friendly persuasion. She was a cousin of Richard Milhous Nixon, and she babysat him when he was growing up. And it was on this day in 64 A.D. the Great Fire of Rome began, raged for 6 days. According to the historian Tacitus, it began in a dry goods store near the Circus Maximus. Some people blamed the Emperor Nero for the fire, and Nero blamed an obscure religious sect, the Christians, and tortured them to death in the amphitheater. It's the birthday of Hunter S. Thompson, born Louisville, Kentucky, 1937. Father died when he was in high school. The mother, alcoholic. Son turned to crime. He was arrested for robbery. The judge gave him a choice, prison or the military. So he joined the Air Force, started writing articles for the base newspaper, and when he got out, he took newspaper jobs, any that he could get. His break came in 1964. The Nation magazine hired him to write about the Hells Angels, and the piece he wrote turned into a book deal. He used his advance to buy a motorcycle, rode around the country, wrote about the bikers he met. The book came out in 1967, and it became a bestseller. He was a journalist, Hunter S. Thompson, who was the hero of his own stories in which the line between truth and fiction was blurry. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. The book begins, "We were somewhere around Barstow on the edge of the desert when the drugs began to take hold." He died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound in Aspen, Colorado, 2005, and as per his request, his ashes were shot from a cannon. It's the birthday of the author Elizabeth Gilbert, Waterbury, Connecticut, 1969, author of the best-selling memoir, travelogue, self-help book, Eat, Pray, Love, One Woman's Search for Everything Across Italy, India, and Indonesia. Intel was founded on this date, 1968, by Gordon Moore and Robert Noyce, who were going to name the company Moore Noyce, but that didn't sound right, so they named it Integrated Electronics, or Intel. Here's a poem for today by Emily Dickinson. "One blessing had I than the rest, so larger to my eyes, that I stopped gauging, satisfied, for this enchanted size. It was the limit of my dream, the focus of my prayer, a perfect, paralyzing bliss, contented as despair. I knew no more of want or cold, phantasms both become, for this new value in the soul, supremest earthly sum. The heaven below, the heaven above, obscured with ruddier blue, life's latitudes bent over full, the judgment perished too. Why bliss so scantily disperse? Why paradise defer? Why floods be served to us in bowls? I speculate no more. One blessing had I than the rest, a poem by Emily Dickinson. And that's the Writer's Almanac for Thursday, July the 18th. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.